What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today we are going to do some Flameshrine. In fact, it's the last day of this Melissa boss. Already did quite a good amount of damage on her and her fellow boss companions. Can you say that? I'm not sure. But the thing is, we have quite a good team. It is a little weaker than before. Usually we didn't use Wraec, but now, well, there is this slight problem that they nerfed Gorky, so we had to put another hero in this team because Gorky is no longer worth it at all. So Wraec is back in the team. The bosses have 50% damage reduction, so getting rid of that is kind of nice. 40 million attack, A4 or Destiny rank 4 LFA with +3 divine power from Temple, which ends up being 7 divine power. And then, well, we got MFF, which will not do anything more than before, just a little bit more damage, will never trigger a Destiny transition skill, and SQH, and I think we're just going to watch a fight now, because, well, we have a lot of time, we can watch a few fights, it is good. So, main problem with this team being, well, we have Olivia, and that sucks a little bit, I have to say, because as you already see, we will always attack this front row boss, and she just shrunk a back row one. And it is in fact a pretty low probability, well, 1 in 3, so that she hits the right boss, and she can hit the right boss over and over again in theory, but that is of course a rather small probability. She did in fact not shrink the right boss once yet, and we can eventually make her faster than LFA, which will make that a little bit easier. But for now I don't have a copy that is fast enough to make that possible. And then you see fights like this where we end up with like not a single turn of proper shrinkage. Do you say that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's a proper English word. You can correct me in the comments. I'm not sure. But yeah, so fighting Melissa, boss Melissa is like not the most difficult boss in Flameshrine in general. Most of them aren't. One thing to note though with Melissa is that she applies speed debuffs, so your speed order might have some problems here. I intentionally don't use attribute reduction purify on the LFA, can be a little bit slower, that's alright. And well, mostly for good RNG we're looking for proper crits from LFA and the shrink debuff on the right enemy, especially in the rounds after turn 10. That is something that is very important. You can see it's now on the right boss. Let's see how long it stays there. There's not really anything we can do to influence that other than making Olivia faster, which will lead to up to two bosses being shrunk at the same time, which would be quite nice. Other than that, you might have noticed that this boss has lost quite a bit of HP already. And yeah, indeed, those bosses seem to be killable. 5.7 E plus 18 per boss is their HP value, so we need to do quite a lot of damage. I still didn't do E plus 17 damage against a Flameshrine boss. I came quite close though with a 9.9 E plus 16 yesterday, which I sadly didn't record, but like, yeah, that's pretty close. It's not E plus 17. We have 4 attempts now today. We're not going to watch all of them, but at least I think 2. And let's hope we can break E plus 17, would be quite nice. That's of course rather unfortunate that we didn't shrink the right boss here. Quite bad. Cost us 50% damage. Of course, now she thinks it's a good idea to shrink the front row boss again. But let's see the damage number, and it's 5.4 to E plus 16. And we have pretty major RNG in here, going from basically E plus 15 even. I've seen one E plus 15 attempt up to, I think, E plus 17 is possible. I think what is quite nice is that we see this E plus 16 here, but also E plus 14 are our 2 support heroes. Quite massive, so that's fun. Heal also E plus 15. And well, let's do the next attempt and let's see. I'm pretty eager to kill those Flameshrine bosses, I have to say. That is like a little project of mine. I have to motivate some of my clanmates to join in on that. But given that we fight Star Expedition, that a lot of people build heroes for Star Expedition, that we of course have MFGs, we have LFAs in the clan ready with high attack, so it should not be that much of a problem. But then again, reaching 5.7 E plus 18 to even kill one of those bosses, not easy at all. As I said, like a high roll for me would be E plus 17. 10 times E plus 1 E plus 17 is 1 E plus 18. So that would mean even a high roll of my damage. We would need that 57 times to kill one of those bosses. 57 times, while only me having 12 attacks per Flameshrine boss, essentially. So that already makes it quite difficult and would probably require like 4 of us with really good accounts, really good heroes, really good RNG. And while we have a lot of strong players, a lot of strong people, that is still pretty difficult considering, well, sometimes you saw it right now, we only do 5 E plus 16, which would essentially bring that to 114 attacks that we would need. And yeah, that is quite difficult indeed. And most people don't really care about Flameshrine. For myself, I'm kind of curious what the H would do. Because we saw it with the Star Expedition boss, where as soon as somebody cleared it, they pulled some new boss out of the bag. And well, the new boss was kind of interesting. We got more loot. It is now a revived game mode, you can say. And I think that's kind of cool. And I kind of hope that they somehow have like an updated version of Flameshrine, like somewhere back in their office, that they can just show us once we beat one of those bosses. And well, that would be kind of fun. That would be kind of fun. Beating all of them, well, that is probably not possible for now, but we are working towards it. I mean, we're now at Divine Power 7, we can go up to 15, we can still unlock Destiny rank 6, which of course will take a bit, but eventually we're going to get there, and with Divine Power 6 we gain so much more damage that I think, well, we might just be able to do it with one or the other hero. And then on top of that we have buff heroes. We get the SQH attack buff already. There will be an all damage dealt buff on Destiny rank 6 for her, so that is also kind of interesting. Shrink on the right boss, that is very good again. So we get the turn 15 attack, the turn 15 active skill on the Shrunk Melassa, which is huge. Monster buff, of course, also available. Very nice. Let's see what happens here. No idea if that was huge damage. It's always hard to tell. The HP bar doesn't really move. But it's still interesting. Some people weren't sure. 6 E plus 16. Not really very great, I have to say. Some people weren't sure those bosses were killable. Well, that doesn't prove it here, though. I don't know. Might just be that those bosses stop losing HP once they basically hit 0. But we will only see about that once we really go ham on them and bring one of those bosses down. And I think we might already be in a position to do that in a very coordinated attempt that I haven't quite managed to get enough people for. But eventually, I think we will do that. It's easier, and then we'll need less people. I guess people like No 7 is huge damage, Gore is huge damage, Wayne with MFG also huge damage, though not as we can not focus that damage that much on the front row boss, and that's kind of a problem. Well, not really. MFG still does huge damage, so I would say we skip this fight in the next one. Then I show you guys the team setup, and then, well, we can call it a video, and you guys can tell me what you want to see in Flameshrine, and when do you think we will beat those bosses. 7.6 E plus 16, the best attempt yet. Still not a good one, and I sadly can't force RNG. And but I certainly would want to see more loot in Flameshrine. Like some more guild coins, that would be something. And a global leaderboard. That would be cool. Like, I want a leaderboard for Flameshrine damage. That can't be too difficult. Like, just show the highest number. Oh, that was a horrible attempt. Like, just show the highest number achieved for every single boss. That would just be fun. I just would love to fight for a leaderboard like this. It doesn't even have to have so much reward. Just a little button here, you click on that, then you can see Melassa, and it's me or somebody else with some insane E plus 17 hit or something, and then you can see where you are on the leaderboard. And that would just be fun, and I kind of miss that. That would be very cool. But for now, we get to see a very huge number that I have no idea what it actually is. Pretty long. 1 E plus 12, I think. Oh, well, we have a million behind that, so it's 1 E plus 18. 1.2 E plus 18, so we're, well, it's a quarter of a way basically to beating one boss, so, well, not even that serpent, maybe like 20% of the HP of one boss. Yeah, so we know by now that those bosses have in fact 15 times the HP of the damage that we just did, and that is one of the biggest numbers probably I've ever seen in Flameshrine. Given that you need just 150,000 million to beat that, that's just pure insanity. So let me show you guys the Flameshrine team so that you can copy it, or that you see the mechanics as well. There it is, our Flameshrine team. Just Wraec, basically. Demon Bell, nothing spectacular. Same for the Livia that we have here. Livia we want as fast as possible, but you can see like we're around 2216. We got no shoes, so there's no speed buff here. Can't really get this guy any slower without losing a ton of attack. And here we have like 2135 speed on the Livia. We could upgrade the stone a little bit, which would add another 17 speed. And if we re-rolled those shoes, that would be another 20 speed. But really, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. And 38 speed copy is not too great. We could definitely get a better one there. And then maybe we could get close with the speed debuff of Melissa. Potentially, we could really do that. And that could add some damage as well, at least some consistency. For the copy itself, we run Giant Killer Defier crit damage, which adds a lot of damage on the upper HP levels of the boss. If we intend to beat this boss, this will be another thing to consider, because eventually Defier will stop working once we are below 70%. 3-star Resonance Gear, Holy Damage, Skill Damage Stone with an Antler's Cane for some all damage dealt, and well, that's our stat line. 55% crit, 173% crit damage. It's a bit over cap. We are not really focusing on armor break, considering we have Wraec, so armor is a non-issue. Holy damage at 77%, 310 skill damage, could be a little bit more. I would actually prefer if that was Giant Killer Defier skill damage, but I couldn't roll that yet. Full red enabled, and then we have just precision crit damage, and well, full subs. And here we go for active skill, of course. Additional damage, 8% of max HP, given that we have 5.7 E plus 18 max HP. Reduced target's armor doesn't really matter for us. There's just nothing good in this node for us to use, and then the target's HP is no less than 50%, additional 1200% of attack damage with the base version of the transition skill. And this, we can't really trigger the Destiny transition skill of MFF, but for SQH we also have something. We have active skill, ally energy increase, and armor increase on this node as well. We don't really have anything, but this also gives us attack 10% and a little bit of HP restoration, but the 10% attack are quite nice. So that being said, that is our team. 2.2 billion strength already. That's quite insane. That's madness. But with that, I wish you guys a great day, and we'll see us in the next one.